The Phil Show.
So much is going on this weekend. But tomorrow night, we got two shows from Mike Kaplan, who is on the live line now, I assume, somewhere on the road. Good morning, Mr. Kaplan. How are you, sir?
Great. You are right. I am sitting in traffic just a few blocks from my home in Brooklyn as I start my drive towards you.
Shut the front. Wait a minute. You're driving from Brooklyn to Knoxville. Holy.
That's right.
Cow. Now, you may have seen Mike on The Tonight Show, Letterman, Conan, or, James Corden, Comedy Central, all that stuff. How did you, and you're driving, when you're cutting your teeth, when you're making your bones, you know, you think it's a lot more glamour sometimes than it is, and sometimes it is, but you're driving. What is the impetus for you to say, this is what I want to do for a living?
Thank you for asking. What a kind question. I mean, I didn't want to do this for a living. I'm happy to, and I love doing it, but I wanted to be a singer-songwriter. That was my goal. And I had some songs that were funny, and I played them at a comedy club, and they went fine, but in between, I talked, and people laughed, and I was like, well, this seems easier than lugging a guitar around. So that was one of my main.
Now, do you still do any music in your shows, Mike?
You know, I don't bring the instrument with me. If it's going around, I might pick it up, pretend not to know how to use it, amaze people in style. And I do think that even perhaps hearing my voice right, you can tell there's a sing-songy, a rhythm to comedy. So I guess the short answer is.
All right. Okay, so you got two shows tomorrow night and then two shows Saturday. Have you been to Knoxville before?
I've been to Knoxville once before, about 10 years ago. That's my goal, to be rebooked every decade. So
Okay.
I'll have fresh material. I'll have a whole new set of tools and atoms that comprise my body, perhaps a different psyche. But yeah, I was touring through with a buddy of mine, Zach Irwin, in 2013, I believe. And we had a wonderful time at a place called The Well. I don't know if it's there. I hope they're doing well still. But
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, no,
had a wonderful time. Look forward to returning.
Well, no, but unfortunately, they're closing. As a matter of fact, the Square Room, where you're going to be performing on Market Square Mall, first of all, it's a great little venue. But second of all, live comedy, for some reason, went away in Knoxville. And all of a sudden now, because of the Square Room, the hip to be square comedy thing, whatever. Yeah, man, I think you're going. First of all, I think people are hungry for it. So I would imagine you'll have a crowd hungry to laugh. And you know what? And where you're performing there's great restaurants all around. So it's a great date night or just a wonderful place for a girls' night out or whatever. And I think you'll have a great time. What should people expect in this show? What are your observations? Do you find comedy everywhere? Will you find it driving or what?
Thank you for asking. Number one, I'm glad to hear that people will be hungry for comedy. I will be serving up a good comedy meal. There'll be lots of good comedy chunks to eat. There'll be lots of little bites if you want. I'll stop this analogy now. It doesn't make any sense anymore. But the show that I'm doing, perhaps every show, perhaps not everyone, but I'm working on an hour-long show that I'm bringing to the Edinburgh Fringe Fest this August. That'll be doing all August in Scotland. And the show is called Imperfect. And it's about my growth as a human being. It's about my relationship with my girlfriend that I've been with for the past 7 years. We've been with each other the whole time. Even before I knew her, I loved her. And, but that's with so it's. But also, yeah, everywhere I find comedy everywhere. In the phone with you, on the radio right now. It'll be just like this, but with jokes.
Okay, brother. All right, we're having you're breaking up a little bit. It may just be because you're on wireless or whatever. Listen, in all honesty, please be very careful. You'll probably run into construction, I guess 20, 30, 40 times before you get to Knoxville. Our state flag is the orange, or flowers the orange barrel, so you're going to hit some of that. Be careful. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow and Saturday. Mike Kaplan, rolling out of Brooklyn all the way to Knoxville. You will see him tomorrow and at the Square Room. So, and we'll give some more tickets away if you'll stay tuned. Mike, thank you so much. Be careful.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, just a little phone issue there. And sometimes it happens. But he sounds like he's got a lot of energy, because if you're driving from Brooklyn to Knoxville, that's got to be, 10 hours?
I looked it up on maps. The shortest route was 11 and a half, 12 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Uh-huh. The longest route, let me see if I still have it pulled up. I think it said 18 hours. Yeah, hold on. Maps is
Why would there even be that?
Loading. 18, almost 19 hours.
Yeah, but you can get here in 11 or whatever. 12. Why would someone choose that one if you can get, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's the more scenic route. But, I mean, for Mike to dedicate even the short route of 11-hour drive, this dude wants it. And I respect that. And I think it's cool that he's preparing an hour set for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival coming up over in Scotland this year.
Oh, Scotland. Really
That's awesome.
Yeah, actually, it is.
I think it's so cool that comedy is coming back to Knoxville.
It's here.
And thank you to the Square Room for being a part of the reason that comedy is back in Knoxville.
Yeah. I mean, if this happens, we could get Taylor Swift. Right. No, I'm just kidding.
What, you think she's going to do a couple shows down at the Square Room?
Wouldn't that be something?
Let's start that rumor.
Suits me. It's already started. Now, here you go.
Phil Williams on NewsTalk 98.7 WOKI.